Hey there everyone, this is Jeffrey with Killaskila Gaming, and welcome back to Subnautica. Previously, we scoured the surface one last time before heading into the depths. We looked for the alien cache locations up here, found a new entrance to the Lost River that have not used in the past for my Cyclops, and that's in the bulb zone. There's one other one I have not seen before that we might look for as we move along. And we then packed up the Cyclops so that we can build a base deeper in the depths of the planet. And I'm really excited to get down to the Lost River, which is going to be our next move here. There might be a few things I'm going to do here at the base, but other than that, we are going to hit the road, and we're probably not going to be coming back for a short while. So let's get to it. I put the game down for about I want to say about 2 weeks. It might be almost exactly 2 weeks. But there's a couple of things I kind of wanted to do around the base. I was thinking of some things with the mobile vehicle bay. I want to make another prawn suit, which I'm not going to do right now, but it made me start thinking about what to do with the prawn suits. And I was going to make some changes to the sea moth and to the current prawn suit, so I'll do those really quick, I suppose. Okay, so just some cosmetic changes for the most part here. I kind of got the idea of doing different colors for all the vehicles, and I thought for this one I was gonna just do a lighter pink shade and then maybe white for the contrast. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's too white. The interior looks good and the name looks good, but the outside just kind of turned to more of a gray. I can hear my crabsquid. Oh man, I'm starting to think that was probably a bad idea to let the crabsquids loose. And for the prawn suit, I had something else in mind. Name is going to stay the same. I actually came up with a name for the other one. I think y'all might like it. Let's see. Yeah. So I was thinking... Oh, the stripe is... Yeah, I think I like this. So, and we'll do the other one later when we get back. I think that's it. I should probably eat and all that, but let's do that really quick.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
I was actually thinking of putting the plants somewhere kind of out of the way, but something like this. But I was thinking actually maybe over in the corner here. That might not work. It looks like it's getting in the way. What about right in the middle here? That might work. I think that's... Yeah, that's everything. I'll take up the whole spot. So. Yep, I threw in some water. I got the pea suit. Alright. One other thing I wanted to do before leaving. Mesmer egg. That's what I had. Okay. So my eggs are starting to hatch. I was thinking we had all these teeth out here. I'm going to quickly disable... Disable a bunch of these because I'm not going to need them. Yeah, so I had an idea. I had an idea for a time capsule. But I thought, let's clean up the teeth out here before we go.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And we got plenty of materials for enamel glass now. On this one. Yep, you're full up. Can always drop in more eggs for later. Huh. Mesmers and spadefish, eh? Okay. I don't remember what the green ones are. And both mesmers and spadefish are from around here, so... Can you still mesmerize me? Okay. I think I am ready to go. Let's load up the CMOD.
Welcome. All systems online.
Of course. Of course that's the way it goes. Alright, good enough, I guess. What do we have as far as mods go? We should have everything, right? Yeah. Yeah. Look, my little cheese coming along. Cool. Well, it's nighttime. Can we sleep? Alright, so I did turn off most of my markers. Not all of them. Let's turn off more. The last river and bulb zones where we're going. Okay, think we are ready?
Engine powering up. Ahead slow.
I'm trying not to ram everything around me. I think they're pushing me. I can feel it. Alright, so, one of them is still around me.
Ahead standard.
Alright, so the plan is we're going to head to the bulb zone and we're going to take it down to the Lost River and see what we can find. I'm not hell-bent on making a base right here, right now, so I more or less want to explore. Anything big?
Deploying.
Play with those. Let's go. Let's go silent.
Rig for silent running.
Okay, make sure we don't miss our target. Something attacking me while I'm in silent? I don't want to go over the edge here. Close to the ground.
Warning, external hull damage detected. Warning, fire detected.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Engine powering down.
Oh my god. Where is the fire? Downstairs again? Where are we?
Warning, fire detected.
I don't see anything. Oh, it must be right below me here. Okay. That's weird. I'm working on it, I'm working on it.
Fire extinguished. Air scrubbers initiated.
Okay. Huh. That's the second time that's happened to me. Alright, alright, alright. Let's... Okay, you sit here for now. Let me deal with the damages. Here, I thought we were doing okay. I hear a rebound. Is that what hit me? There you are. Thought that was the third. Alright, alright, alright. Back at it.
Engine powering up.
Okay.
Ahead slow.
Let's take it slow from here. And we want to make it down to our target. Just in case. How close to a ledge are we here? Do something hears me. How we doing? Billy. Ahead of me? Okay. I'm at a tilt. Okay. Here we are down here.
Engine powering down.
Let's see what's around us.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Okay. Oh, my stuff's already spawning. Cool. Okay. There's some stuff down here, like this. I do believe is new to me. So, this is what we're gonna do. We're down by the Lost River area. See what's new around here. If there's stuff worth collecting, we'll collect it. But, information right now. You know, before, the previous episode, I think it was the previous one, or the one before that, I had never actually had my Cyclops catch fire. So, that's definitely a new thing for me. Yeah, it looks like a Reaper.
Seek fluid intake.
You scannable? No.
Vital signs stabilizing.
You might be new. They kind of look like the rays up top, but yeah, they're not quite. Okay. Ghost rays. You mind? So we got things in here that definitely don't like us.
Engine powering up.
Like the thing right in front of us. Not sure the best way to deal with that though. Other than just cruise forward and get away from it.
Warning. Creature attack.
You mind? Hey, go away. Go away.
Warning. Creature attack.
Okay. It's kind of a pretty area. Okay, I can see the brine again. You maybe scout this area a little bit.
Engine powering down.
I think we're right over the thermal thing. I wanted to get the Cyclops away from the
All systems online.
Electro buddies. I can't think of their names, not the MPLs. Okay, so we go down here. Ooh, it's creepy looking. River prowler. Oh, you were aggressive, aren't you? Okay, ouch, ouch, ouch. Scan complete. It's just him chasing me. So a couple of new creatures. River crawler, is that what it said it was called? So lots of glassy material in this area, which you would expect. Very cool. I'll always take Ruby. Yeah, see, I keep feeling like I'm
Welcome aboard,
well,
Captain.
like my Cyclops is way the hell up there. And it is, but it's like when you're in it, you're always like bumping into, you know, the stuff above you and below you because you're not really sure quite exactly where you are.
Captain, all systems online.
I know the PDA had said something about, what do you call, fossilized remains.
Engine powering up.
I don't think it quite meant, I don't think it meant one Reaper skeleton. Let's check around here.
Engine powering down.
See where we are exactly. It's so easy to get lost so quick. Should probably eat something.
All systems online.
Okay, where are my markers? Okay, so my markers are over this way. We probably want to explore more this way. Yeah, down here. Oh yeah, I heard that. So we got a ghosty here. I turned off the floodlights, so I don't think it's going to take much interest in us.
Warning, maximum depth reached. Hull damage imminent.
Too far. I must have hit a... I wonder if that goes into like the lava zone or something. Okay, so we almost want to turn the Cyclops more southwest then, right? This is why you don't take functionalities you're not familiar with, right? Okay.
Engine powering up.
Yeah, let's get down in here first. Okay, I see the big one. She's not even being picked up.
Engine powering down.
So cool. Yeah, so I think we're safe as long as we don't have the floodlights on and we don't have the engine running. Which is perfect. Hey there everyone, Future Me here. I had to take a quick break to put the chickies to bed, and I am back at it. So, alright, we have a juvenile ghost leviathan in our wake here. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do. So we're down pretty deep. That's my main concern is, you know, the Seamoth can only handle so much at this point, so we might just need to carefully traverse this ground here.
Engine powering up.
Oh my god, there's a huge hole in the ground there, isn't there? Uh-oh. So did we just go straight across then, maybe? I'm betting that hole goes down into the lava zone. I know there's more ways to access it than I've used before. So I think I've only ever used one entrance. There's more brine pools over here, okay. Sorry, little dude. Okay, so we probably just had to cross to this side of the river. Let's see what's over here.
Engine powering down.
Should we try this? Okay.
All systems online.
Yeah, so here's where this kind of trails off then, right? Hey there. It's not really going into like a pool, it's just going... Or maybe it is. Maybe I just can't see that well. I guess the only way to actually know is to go and explore it, but... Is that really something we want to do? Let's see what's on this side, I guess, just to make sure I'm not losing it. Interesting.
This alien structure appears to have collapsed to the sea floor.
Did I have to come in here to continue? How big is this place? Interesting, okay. But I had to come in here to continue then. Or I could, maybe I could have got around, I don't know. This is getting into places I'm familiar with. Oh, no way. Okay, now I'm a little bit more familiar with where we are. So let's check this out while we're here. I think the entrance is over here. Now, I'll make sure we're not going into a place that's... I think we're safe. I want to make sure we weren't going into some place that was like shielded or something like that.
Detecting an alien broadcast. Linguistic analysis reads: caution, hazardous materials and life forms contained within. Interior walls in this section are substantially reinforced, indicating the designers were seeking either to keep something out or contain it within. Whatever their intention, it clearly failed.
Huh. Amoeboid. That doesn't look very amoeboid. Okay, so we've... This must be like the heart of the Lost River then. And... Purple. Oh, we have that. We should at least. I didn't put it in here, did I, by chance? No. I do have the sonar in here, though. Think I can make it? You stay there and mark my position. Yeah, this is really creepy. I know it might not seem that way because I'm not... but... Because I'm not, like, freaking out or anything, but that's just not the way... I usually panic when I'm, like, being chased or something like that. First of all... We'll go over here. Okay, I was kind of wondering about that. Hey. Egg. Sea dragon egg. Ray species. Rib cage, I can even see that. Wait. Data cache? Okay.
Integrating new PDA data.
Did I not need the purple tablet? That's kind of just letting me go wherever I feel like.
Residual biological evidence suggests indigenous life forms were brought to this location and subjected to intensive study.
WTF. Warper. This is messed up. So they're just warper parts?
Data pertaining to the bacterium is being downloaded. Caution. Detecting atypical fluctuations in blood plasma proteins. A self-scan is strongly advised.
Hey, give me a second here. I'm not really in a good spot for this. I suppose I can do this.
Self-scan complete. Bacterial infection has spread to the skin and pulmonary system. Medical report recorded to Databank. It is imperative you find a way to neutralize the infection.
Isn't that what we've been working on? Yeah, not to split hairs here, but I feel like infecting the lungs is probably not a best move if you're an underwater organism. I can't think of any. So okay, so when it comes to bacterial infections, waterborne bacteria will tend to infect the digestive tract because that's where they're most likely to end up. And it just, you know, it's kind of, if the circumstances work in its favor, you know, it's opportunistic in pretty much every case. That's what made things like cholera. Oh, I can go. I thought there was glass there. That's what made things like cholera so scary. Skeletal remains. Okay, some really primitive looking hands. Yeah, the only waterborne infection as far as bacteria goes that I can think of offhand is cholera, but I'm not really never really was very invested in bacteria other than using them as a means to an end and studying them for the things they contribute to you know, like to the ecosystem. You know, not that they're not interesting. The only thing interesting about bacteria for the most part is their unique metabolic capabilities. The fact that they can, you know, metabolize things that are you know, that should not really be used for food sources and whatnot.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Otherwise, they're all very similar to each other in a lot of ways. If that makes sense. I mean, it's not that they're not interesting, it's just they're interesting in particular ways that probably most people outside of me would probably not find that to be that interesting. So is this the specimen research data?
Integrating new PDA data.
The purple ones are usually used at the data caches, but this is more of a facility. Yeah, I'm also thinking too, like a bacterium that infects the lungs. Like, it's like there's spots on our body. That's not that's weird. Not really making a lot of sense to me. Pustules, I don't know. That just seems, it feels like that's throwing me, but the whole pustules thing. Let's see what we got. So pyrocoral. This coral species is unlike any other encountered on 4546b insofar as it relies on magma flow rather than water current to deliver nutrients. As lava rises up from the planet's core and erupts at vents, this coral forms around the base until eventually it has surrounded the entire vent. Lava is then funneled up through the coral, allowing it to siphon minerals and heat as it goes. You gotta be pretty resistant to the heat then. Okay, we got a bunch of little things that we've picked up here. Okay, this one's like right here. Amoeboid, a simple non-sentient organism found attached to land with high levels of fossilized organic matter. It feeds on this matter until it reaches maturity, at which point it divides to create two new genetically identical offspring, and the cycle continues. So the cloning, it's cloning itself. Ghost ray. Yeah, see, to me they kind of remind me of the jelly rays. This ray species has adapted to deep sea conditions. Its body is fully protected by translucent skin, and its large wings are capable of generating considerable thrust. One poisonous flesh, as common for rays on 4546b. The ghost ray's flesh is inedible, making it one of the more resilient herbivores. Feeding behavior feeds on plant matter that has settled on the ground in the deep sea caverns. Assessment inedible. Yeah. Okay, this is the remains. Remains of research specimen. The skeletal remains of a vast predator housed within an artificial habitat. Number 1, the habitats. The environment constructed to house the specimen suggests it was kept alive in containment for research purposes for months or even years. Organic matter indicates the habitat once supported extensive plant life, though it has since decayed. When the facility collapsed, the specimen was either left to die or killed on the spot. 2, evolution. While it shares some skeletal traits with the biter and sand shark, including its distinctive double eye sockets, this fossilized specimen is significantly larger and features unusual forearms rarely seen in aquatic species. This species has likely gone extinct in the past 1,000 years. Its evolutionary relatives have evolved almost beyond recognition. Yeah. Ribcage samples. A display case containing an array of rib cages harvested from the indigenous life forms. There's a particular focus in this instance on vertebrate skeletal structures. While some of these skeletons match organisms encountered on the planet so far, most cannot be matched with confidence, suggesting either that there are species out there not yet accounted for, or that they have become extinct since these samples were collected. Okay. Carnivores. What did I miss? The prowler. Yep. So river prowler. A fast, agile predator discovered at great depths. Jaws torso and attack profile. Okay. Jaws. Powerful jaws used for both savaging prey and warding off larger predators. Torso. Its eel-like torso is highly vulnerable, consisting predominantly of spinal column and cartilage. It shows significant overlap with other eel-like predators on 4546b. Attack profile. It will aggressively keep its jaws facing its opponent, but smaller, faster life forms may have the advantage. Assessment. Avoid. I would agree with that assessment. Okay, got some data downloads. Terminal data first. So, damage report. Leviathan detected at facility perimeter, closing at high speed. Exterior anchor cable impacted with massive force. Exterior anchor system buckling, facility sinking, collision with seafloor. Breach detected in containment unit 7, Leviathan eggs. Immediate specimen destruction protocol initiated. 314 specimens destroyed, 1 specimen unaccounted for. Evacuating staff to off-site sanctuaries. Planetary quarantine protocol initiated. Warning, infected individuals may not leave the planet. Okay. Specimen research data. A catalog of information on the organisms previously contained within the alien facility. A number of entries have been translated. Small herbivore gamma. This entry seems to reference the common peeper. Shows no immunity to infection. Death commonly occurs within 4 days. Shows symptom remission on exposure to enzyme 42, but symptoms quickly recur. Shows advanced learning behaviors. Shows some capacity to transmit enzymes to other specimens. Leviathan embryos. Adult specimen too large to study in containment. Egg specimens acquired from nesting site. Embryos show no signs of immunity. Death commonly occurs within 3 weeks. Small sample of eggs has been retained for continued high priority research on Leviathan hatching mechanisms. Large carnivore to Theta. Offsite lab established to study remains. Shows some potential for immunity to infection, but physical remains so far proved insufficient for full reconstruction. Unidentified Leviathan. This Leviathan species has been assigned designator Sea Emperor. Bone samples from the Emperor specimens indicate some potential for Kara immunity. Single specimen captured for study at purpose-built containment facility. Constructed in volcanic region at depth of 1.4 kilometers. Which I don't think we have anything that can go that deep yet. Assessment. While it is unlikely that the Emperor specimen is still contained within the facility described, it may be possible to acquire further data there on the aliens' attempt to develop a vaccine. But we don't want a vaccine right now. We want a treatment. There's a difference. Vaccines can, in case, be used as treatments, but the logic to that really depends on the situation. Okay, Kara contagion profile. This terminal contains extensive data regarding the bacterial contagion identified as Kara. Discovery first encountered during routine network expansion on outer worlds. Pen. Are you kidding me? Where did you even come from? Okay, you really need to stop that. Let's get back to the ship. It's not gonna let out. I don't think there's anything more to do in that area other than, you know, read what we've picked up so far, but I just get to the juicy stuff and you start attacking me.
Captain, all systems online.
Okay, let's finish reading that. Alright. Discovery. First encountered during routine network expansion on outer worlds. Pandemic development. Network error resulted in routine quarantine procedure failure. Contagion was uploaded to and spread quickly through the core worlds. Confirmed deaths. 143 billion individuals. Bacterial mechanism. Attaches to healthy living cells and mutates the basic genetic structure. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Symptoms, stage 1, gradual immune system failure, stage 2, green skin lesions and flu-like symptoms, which, again, I'm not understanding why they would do that on an ocean planet. Flu-like symptoms are not going to help you spread. That is the whole point of having them. That's what viruses tend to do because viruses aren't usually waterborne. Unpredictable alteration to biological structure, stage 4, complete shutdown of executive function. Yeah, okay. And this part's not making much sense. Emergency steps taken. Core worlds quarantined. Bacterial samples distributed to isolated disease research facilities for vaccine development. Treatment procedure unknown. Alright. We had a couple scans, right? Self-warping quarantine enforcer units and warper parts. The organic parts on display contain DNA from dozens of different organisms, largely originating off-world. They are in varying states of augmentation with advanced technologies. This production line setup suggests that these self-warping constructs were built, maintained, and deployed by the aliens that designed the facility. Self-warping quarantine enforcer units, which is what we've been running into, which in fact just came inside and decided to warp us. This life form shows signs of heavy genetic modification and extensive mechanical grafting. As I say, don't you dare say genetic engineering here, because this is not genetic engineering. You're literally just slapping parts together. Mechanical grafting would sound more appropriate to me. Its digestive and pulmonary systems have been replaced by an onboard battery receiving energy directly from the main grid and distributing it around the body. Miniaturized phase technology has been implanted beneath the skin and is triggered by the central nervous system, allowing the construct to teleport at will. The brain and central nervous system have been digitally augmented with advanced processing power and remote communications. Assessment: programmable, hunter-killer, avoid. Okay, so these aren't even the aliens then, they're just built by the aliens.
Seek fluid intake.
Okay. So we got a few things here. Let's do race species first. Race species on 4546b, different species of raid indigenous to 4546b, each adapted to different environments. The specimens are 99.99% genetically identical to those encountered on the planet today, suggesting the rays in particular have undergone little evolutionary mutation in the past millennium, which is really common with a body plan that works. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So if it works, it works. That's a success story in evolution. If it's alive today, it's successful. Ghost rays, jelly rays, crimson rays, and rabbit rays likely all share a common evolutionary ancestor. The alpha ray would have evolved deep in the ocean trenches, quickly growing in line with available food supplies. It would have most resembled the ghost ray in size and appearance, with translucent skin for camouflage and mounted eyes for hunting, a fast and fearsome stalker of small creatures in the dark. While some rays have stayed within the limits of the cave systems where they first evolved, others are relatively more recent adaptations to new environments, like the results of overpopulation, which is common. So if population gets too big, you got to move around and spread out and find new territory. All of the rays on 4546b have given up predation in favor of herbivorous scavenging and use poisonous flesh to protect themselves. Another reason that they're successful in that sense is because, it's a system that works, but they're so overpopulated because they're successful that they can't stay in one area. We actually had something like that happen here in Michigan in general, but I would say probably in the Midwest in certain areas where there's a huge influx of snowy owls in the region. And it's a big part of overcrowding from the younger generations. So, one of the common things that happens with life is, when it comes to animals tend to produce more offspring than they can handle. It's a good thing for driving survival of the population. The problem is you're not expecting, if you have 4 offspring, for instance, you're not expecting them all to survive. You're expecting maybe 1 or 2 survive, and sometimes none of them die, and then you end up having too many kids to take care of, and the kids grow up, and eventually there's overpopulation of the adults because of that. If you have a good year. And what happened with the snowy owls is just that, except that the adults forced the juveniles out, and they ended up having to go places they weren't familiar with. So you'd find, like, around here, because we're surrounded by water, you'd find snowy owls out on the lake. It's like, what are you doing out there? There's nothing to eat. There's nothing alive on the water you're going to get to. But they didn't know any better. And so what happened is a lot of them starved to death because they didn't know what to do. And we actually did a taxidermy workshop using one of them because we found one that was intact. Sad, but that's what happens. Sea dragon egg. This large egg is held in a hermetically sealed environment and has been chemically sterilized. Without the means at the facility to house a fully grown sea dragon specimen, it is possible the aliens sought to study instead the egg laying and incubation process. To what end is unclear. And this is on me, right? So bacterial infection reports. You have been infected with a previously unknown waterborne bacterium. It is currently multiplying in your bloodstream. Estimated incubation time, 2 weeks. And that would somewhat make sense because our blood would be similar to, kind of similar to like seawater. I mean, like pH-wise at least. Your immune system is currently combating the infection at low efficacy. You may already be experiencing flu-like symptoms and skin irritation. Again, that does not make sense. The whole point of flu-like symptoms is to spread, and you're not going to spread stuff in the water in that way. That's where diarrhea comes in handy. That's why they usually infect the digestive tract and not the lungs. These will likely be exacerbated as the bacterium takes hold. Your immediate priority should be abatement and eradication of the infection. Recommended steps: salvage further alien research data as possible on a possible vaccine. Investigate the mechanisms which have embedded the indigenous ecosystem to inhibit the symptoms of the infection. Again, though, bacteria can be quite diverse in ways that you don't really expect, so I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they're finding stuff that I'm not familiar with. So I think we were already facing the way I wanted to go, right? Let's just try.
Powering up.
Let's just try moving forward. Into this area that I just came back from. I was facing in the cave, right? I hope I don't have to spin around now. Yeah, so what's our yeah, so even our depth on this can't go up below 900 yet. We don't have the depth modules for it. So when I was talking about possibly going down to see if there was a lava zone down there, it's like, well, we can't do that anyway. Okay, so I think it was over this way, right? There was a spot we could... You know, I'm going to turn off the lights. They're just kind of distracting me right now. There was a spot over here, though, I thought might be a good spot to move forward. Let's actually use the sea moth for that, though. Oh. It helps if I can see anything, right? This will be quick, so I'm just going to leave it running.
All systems online.
Was it over here that I was trying to get to? I suppose I can check. Or do I just go straight through, maybe? Okay, yeah, maybe I just go straight through. Sort of. Straight is probably not the word to use for it, but... Yeah, so we want to get down here, right? Can my sea moth survive over here without me? Let's try it. Gives me a little bit of a guiding light. It's a scouting vehicle, right? That's what we're using it for. So let's scout. Yeah, this is interesting coming from this direction. I'm kind of curious now if on that big hole in the ground, if I'm right, if that goes to the...
Captain, all systems online.
If it goes to the lava zone. Okay. So I'm thinking I might just leave this here for now.
Engine powering down.
Oh, my water switch. If I'm not mistaken, let's test my knowledge here. Test my memory, I guess. Where did I put my sea moth? Do you mind? There's that little waterfall area to our left here. Yeah, I see a skeleton there. Okay, we'll come back for that. So we got this little waterfall here. I was kind of thinking if I go this way, how long before I hit the... I got a radio message? After how long before I hit a, hit the Deep Grand Reef?
Indicate this biome contains unusually high concentrations of organic and fossilized remains.
Interesting. That's a skeleton. That's a big skeleton. I wonder who's sending me a message at this point. Okay, first of all. Ooh, do I hear a ghosty? I don't see one. I was wondering if where these little caves go. Just little tiny caves, I guess. Cool. Cool. There's a ghosty. Holy skull. Let's go inside of it. Thought I heard a... Get it ready. That's creepy. Should we scan it? Oh my god. What amount of damage that did? That thing barely even touched me. Okay, I did not see this tunnel over here. Oh, he's following me. Like, I'm just trying not to get eaten. Well, rammed, I should say. Okay. I want to see what's down that tunnel. What's this? Can I hide? Oh. Doesn't seem to be following me. Grapes, the amount of damage. There we go, when I'm in here. Okay. I'll get back to searching. Look, I'm not trying to tread on your territory here. I'm a little discombobulated because I'm not sure where I am, where I'm coming from, and all that. This tunnel looks really familiar. Really, another skull? Oh, crabsquid. Oh, this must be... Huh. Orange. I have an orange. Interesting. Okay. Maybe we need to bring the big boy over here. Maybe this is this... No, the other one had to have been the sanctuary, right? Sanctuary, is that the name for it? It's not like this is very far out of my way. I mean, we are on an exploration mission. Come on. No, get away from my... Big jerk. Okay, so we got another entry point here. I should have just taken the tablet with me. Okay, we'll kind of head back, I guess. This is not what I was thinking it was. Or, honestly, I don't think it is. There was another tunnel down this way, though, wasn't there? If there is another tunnel down here, then this is what I'm thinking it is. I was thinking this might be the tunnel that... What is that? You guys getting that? No. I was thinking this might be the tunnel that leads to...
Welcome aboard, Captain.
That leads to the surface. But, like I said, I'm not sure on that if it is. Oh! Deep Grand Reef. Okay, it is. It's not the one I was thinking it was, but I did say I think the Deep Grand Reef is down this way. Okay, so I was right in my first projection of where we are.
Captain, all systems online.
Okay. Orange tabby. Let's eat a little bit. And let's get back. Before I lose track of where we are. Get back over there. Okay, so we went up
All systems
the
online.
waterfall. I kind of want to stick to the right side this time and see if it brings us anywhere different. Just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything. 'Cause I feel like I miss out on a lot because I don't explore beyond like, oh hey, new place. I found something interesting here. Scanned. Let's go on to another new place. You know what I mean? It feels like that's what I always end up doing. I was thinking, you know, like we were spending time going over the surface biomes. And I'm wondering how much of that I've also missed. I was also thinking too, I should be looking for resources, but I'm really haven't been. Not because I don't want to, but just because I keep finding new locations to explore. And what are those? Brine lily? That's cool. I've never seen that before. Alright, now I have seen people get hurt by touching this. The brine. I don't know why it would hurt us. Maybe it's just like really acidic, but it shouldn't be chewing through suits or anything. But brine is supposed to mostly be salt, so... Okay. I see a crabsquid. Does that mean we're in the Deep Grand Reef here? We're getting to it? blood kelp. That's blood kelp. Okay. There is supposed to be an entrance point from the blood kelp zone in the blood kelp trench, I should say. Maybe this is that one. Yep, there we are. Cool. This isn't very deep, okay. What about these, have I ever scanned these? I don't know if you can. Okay, so we had an orange tablet spot we could open. There it is. So you're gonna be water or land? And then I guess the other question is, do we need to make more tablets? Okay, this is kind of small. Alien bone specimen. Fauna production data. Flora specimen case. Okay. Cool. Yeah. This might be more of a lore. Oh yeah, get another one of these. This might be more of a lore place. Definitely cool though. Crab claw kelp. That is the thing out there, isn't it? Oh, these little glowy things. Okay, so it does have a name. Cool. Alright. Oh, or maybe. Nice. Get everything. Cool. Definitely worth getting in there. Okay. I think let's get back to the main chamber where I left the Cyclops, because now they have a kind of a better understanding of where we are. Oh, big boy is going wild. You know, feel free if you're seeing this. Like I said, even if I'm, I haven't started uploading. I've started uploading the series, but I have not started releasing anything. And good chance I won't until I'm done. But doesn't mean I won't come back to the game. So if you find that I am missing something of interest, then you know, let me know. I'm always on the hunt for a story. Okay, so we want to take this to a safe location, which is my main goal here. But here, let's scout this cavern out a short bit, just to make sure we're not going the wrong way. Ooh, nice. What is this? Just table coral? Okay, cool. Now there's another spot. This might actually be it. Or if we were to go up here, this would take us to the other blood kelp zone. Yep. Okay, I am oriented. I kind of know where we are now. Should we check it out a little bit? This isn't where I want to go. I just wanted to kind of check it out. I think from here, if you wanted to go up, you just go up this way. And yes, believe it or not, Cyclops fits all the way. So, but you gotta go to the other side of this cavern, and I do see ghosties in here on occasion. So, really cool. I suppose we could go and... Hey. Crystalline sulfur. Are you the little blood biters? This place is cool. Navigating through here with the Cyclops is tricky though. Oh mama, you are big. It just keeps going up and up and up. I actually don't know where the point where it goes up all the way is though. They're so cool. Nice thing about the sea moth, it is fast. Now, that means that my destination is here. So, this is where we're going to set up shop when we do. It looks like this cavern has been clean of ghosties, so let's take advantage of that and get the Cyclops across. I know some people might think it's a boring location, but it's because it's safe, but that's what I like about it, and it's pretty.
Captain, all systems online.
Alright.
Engine powering up.
Okay, so when I cross this... Oop. Too close to the top probably, and bottom. So where exactly is my spot here? There she is. And tell me that's not the most beautiful thing we've seen so far. I am on the fence about a couple of things here. See, we are pretty deep.
Engine powering down.
And our Cyclops is only going to be able to go so far down. Same with our sea moth. So we got to be careful here. For now, at least. Giant cove tree. So we are in a relatively safe spot here. We just want to be careful about depth at this point. In fact, I might leave. We might just stay here where we are, but let's scout ahead a little bit.
All systems online.
So where this light is kind of over here, I think this is where I traditionally have set up. And I was kind of debating about, is it worth setting up, just having it set by the tree might be kind of cool. Or should we go all the way to the edge over here? And basically right here, we have a drop off. It'll take us deeper into the planet. Ooh, I hit something. And it goes really far down into like the lava zone, the inactive lava zone, which means that we have access to thermal energy through here. So traditionally, I set up my base right about here. I'm watching my depth, make sure we don't go too far down. Now the Cyclops can be modified to go all the way down. This cannot. We are at max. So I like using it for scouting the Lost River in particular, but I think that's mostly what it's going to be for us now as a scout vehicle. And I was kind of debating about, is it worth setting up a base to dock the sea moth? And I was like, well, could we do that over here? How far down can I actually go?
Warning. Maximum
Not
depth
far.
reached. Hull damage imminent.
But I was kind of debating, like I could set up like a moon pool over here as a kind of a docking station. Just as a kind of a place to put it, so we can, you know, kind of leave it down here and it's in a safe zone. Because building the base when I can't go any deeper is going to be kind of tricky. Having the prawn suit might help here. Alright. We got... I heard one of the cells go. We are shut down, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, so we have a nice spot here to kind of be able to see what we're doing and read and all that, and so let's take advantage of it. Okay. So we have some data downloads, new geological data, and some life forms stuff. Let's check the life forms first. Let's go with flora first. I think some of this was from the... Some of it was from the alien site. Actually, we got a trophy. It's called Find the Lost River, and it says Find the Disease Research Facility, which that's what we were in. Okay, brine lily. These are new to me. I wonder if we could grow these. These lily-like plants have evolved to take advantage of the relative density of the acidic brine pool. Acidic, okay. That's where they burn. I think the blue ones are safe. I think it's just the green ones that burn. And just for the record, acids are not colorful like that usually, so they usually just look a lot like water. Acidic brine pools encountered near the ocean floor to float safely on the surface. Tendril-like roots extend down into the brine, drawing essential salts and minerals from the water. That's it, okay. Crab claw kelp. This is cool. A blue-tipped kelp species which tends to grow in or near to acidic brine pools on the ocean floor. These brine pools are hazardous to most life forms. However, the crab claw is adapted by developing a thick, inflexible root system which can withstand the environment and which raises the sensitive blue feeding nodules above the level of the brine. And giant cove tree. A vast tree encountered in a deep cove, and the only one of its kind encountered on the planet. The tree is surrounded by rays grazing on its pink outer leaves. 1. Bark. A hardy, fast-growing bark covers the outside of the tree. Minuscule organisms inhabit the notches on the surface. Ghost leviathan eggs. Interesting. The tree's branches are wrapped around a number of maturing eggs belonging to the species designated ghost leviathan. This tree appears to be an ancient nesting ground. The eggs were laid when the tree was young, and now the branches protect and grow with them as they await the right conditions to hatch. Very cool. Hopefully they don't hatch while we're here, right? That could be problematic. That explains why there's juvenile ghost leviathans all over. Okay, so fauna. Deceased. Ancient fossilized skeleton. The skeleton of a million-year-old armored carnivore. Projections suggest this life form would have been larger than any living creature encountered on the planet. The oceans of the time would have been very different to support life forms of this size, with more open geography and many more individuals in the Leviathan range. Gargantuan fossil, and this is that huge one out in the open. The fossilized remains of an extinct super predator. Its sheer size would have prohibited it from entering such an enclosed space, suggesting the geography of the planet has shifted around it over time. A true apex predator. Dated at approximately 3 million years old, ribcage measurements suggest the creature was eel-like in structure. Calculations suggest this is only the front third of the specimen. The remains now support a vibrant microcosm of life. Note, there are a series of precise angular indentations on the ribcage suggesting a third party has taken samples from the specimen at a previous time, probably the aliens. Mixed Leviathan fossils. These fossils likely came from the ancient ancestors of the Leviathans, which inhabit the planet today. The relative size and delicacy of the bones suggests that they formed parts of the ear canal or some other complex internal structure. And sea dragon skeleton. Okay, so this is the one that was out on the floor, right? Sea dragon skeleton, okay. The semi-intact skeletal structure of a Leviathan-class predator. Head trauma. There's clear evidence of massive physical trauma to the head. The damage is so severe that it was likely the cause of death and must have occurred somewhere nearby. Damage is consistent with a high speed of collision with a solid object. Age. Something of the environment has helped to preserve these remains, but calcium decay suggests an approximate death 1,000 years ago. Bone growth suggests the creature was in the egg-laying stage of its life cycle. Trauma. Okay. And that one's got hand projections too. Okay, data downloads. Okay, this is from that second base. Fauna reproductive data. Extensive alien research data on the local fauna with a special focus on their reproductive methods. Core conclusions have been synthesized. The aliens discovered the life forms on the planet have just one sex. Okay, so there are no males, females then. Which is really bizarre because why would you lay eggs? They observed local organisms engaging in asexual reproduction, which is just cloning. All healthy individuals tested were capable of egg laying. Eggs usually require genetic material from another of the species. Then why is there just one sex? That doesn't make as much sense. Unless they're just hermaphrodites and they can breed with anybody. That would make sense, I guess. In rare cases, in rare case, only one parent was required with evolutionary mutation introduced by the effects of the environment itself. That's what I was going to say. Like, there's so much diversity on the planet that there's no way there's no reproduction going on. So, and if they're just one sex, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because you would need for asexual reproduction, it doesn't matter. And sometimes asexual reproduction is the way to go. But for the amount of diversity we're seeing here, in terms of evolutionary diversity, you're going to want some sexual reproduction in there to account for change over time. It helps when they're in situations that are problematic. Research appears to have been focused around hatching conditions and genetic variation between parent and child. You need the variation. It's important. We wouldn't survive without it. Alien flora research. Local plants being held in stasis. The aliens evidently sought an extensive knowledge of the planet's ecosystem, which would have been necessary to support any live specimen research. And research equipment. A large laboratory table and accompanying scanners incorporate technologies far beyond our current level of understanding. Hypotheses. Equipment maintenance, staff maintenance, specimen analysis, and specimen gene manipulation. Okay, crystalline sulfur. I wonder why they only give scan data for certain minerals. Like, why don't we have like copper and everything else on here? That seems strange to me. You think they would give us more on geological data? Sulfur is a highly reactive, non-metallic element usually found in abundance underground. Common applications include production of acidic compounds and combustibles, essential for advanced fabrication. Reminder, we have two types of sulfur. There's the granular sulfur that we found up top, and then this is like bigger crystals of sulfur. Sulfur is one of those elements that I think is really interesting. I would say it's probably my second, if not competing for favorite element. I think it's really an interesting one, I guess. Okay. All right. I think that's where we're going to end off this one. My goal here was to get down here and just do some research and see what we find, and to hopefully get to the location that I wanted to make my base. And this is essentially it. I have to kind of consider whether I want to build here at the tree at the edge, if I want to do one further back. I think I'm going to build at the edge just for the sake of trying the thermal setup. It didn't work for me very well the last time I did it, because it would just like unload itself and not connect, but I want to give it a try, and we have the bioreactor as backup if we need it. If I want to build a second moon pool for the sea moth, that's up in the air at this point, because we can only go so far below at this point. And things keep pushing me around here. I don't know what's going on. The rays, I'm assuming. So I would dive down a little bit deeper, but we can only go so far. So I might have to just take the sea moth with me, or see if we can get this a little bit further in without compromising our hull, if we want to start building right away. But we covered some ground here, and I'm excited for that. Also, there was a trophy that popped, and I mentioned this already, but the Find the Lost River was just finding the disease research facility. I think most of the trophies from here on out are finding important locations, and otherwise just minor things. So if you recall, way back early on, when we found the enforcement platform on the surface, the one that shot us out of the sky, there was a list of facilities that we can find. So disease research facility, I want to say, was on there. There was primary containment facility, thermal plant. I think those are the two that we have not found yet. The rest I think we've sort of found, because even like the sanctuaries and all that, we've picked up on. But that's where we'll leave this one off. I'll kind of think about what I want to do with the next one, but I'm thinking maybe set the base up or start setting a base up, and we'll kind of play that as we go. So thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.